I was absolutely dying to tell you this, my gorgeous Cancerini. Indeed, the actual 19th, 20th and the 21st of May. See what is going to happen to you. See what is going to unfold in your life. When I say what is going to happen to you, it's just remarkable because an unusual situation is going to arise. Through this unusual situation that is going to arise, you know, it's going to have a quite mysterious and mystic feel to it at the same time. But that in itself, it's also going to let you know that you're reaching a quite important stage of your life. It's not only to do with the spiritual journey. It's not only to do with your life in general, but this is so much so to do with a massive, huge, enormous realization. This realization is just not going to come out of the blue. It is the whole new dimension that you are going to walk through at the same time. And this is just, you know, an element of it, literally. But the way things are going to start unfolding for you over these 3 days, you know, they are going to be crucial in order to take a certain fear away. I'm not saying that you are feared. I'm not saying that you are scared. I'm not saying that you are negative. But once you reach these 3 days, you will see exactly where I was coming from, because the whole vibration around you, it's going to be different. The whole dimension around you, it's going to be different. And this is nothing unusual. And when I say different, it's purely and simply going to feel the period and the stage of your life which is subconsciously going to be trying to let you know that you are in for a massive change. The 31st of May, it's going to be directly connected to these 3 days that I've already said. It's remarkable, my gorgeous Cancerini. It's remarkable because this is all going to start, this is all going to begin with the actual burst of positive energy which is going to reflect on your energy in general. So it is going to be the return of the creativity. I'm not saying that you weren't creative. I'm not saying that you were like completely tired, but I'm just saying that this time prior, the actual these 3 days, 19th, 20th and 21st, is just going to be a bit more heavier, slightly different energy. But as the time goes by, as we are moving closer and closer to these 3 particular days, you are going to start feeling much better. You are going to start feeling much more optimistic, and this is going to refresh you in so many different ways. It's going to refresh your power. It's going to enhance your energy at the same time. But even if you don't feel slightly more like a tired, or even if you're not feeling this particular vibration that I've just mentioned prior, these 3 important key dates, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the harmony, and it's all about optimism, and it's all about an important conclusion, reaching an absolutely remarkable stage in your life, which means that karmically you're also entering an important stage. Okay, so even if you didn't feel like a negativity, even if you didn't feel like a little bit tired and things like that so far, it absolutely doesn't matter. The bottom line is, what am I trying to say here, is that these 3 days are most certainly going to make an important difference, because you are going to feel it, my gorgeous Cancerinis. And it's all about your power, it's all about your energy, it's all about your vibration, it's all about you feeling it again. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you weren't feeling it or anything like that, but it's just once you reach this absolutely pure and beautiful stage, it is so much that it's going to make sense that it didn't make sense so far. This is just part of the huge, massive picture. But when it comes to you, it's going to create an amazing beginning. And the end of these 3 days, it's going to provide you with a new actual plan. New plan, which is not brand new. It's to do with the wish. It's to do with the part of your life, with the stage of your life that was kind of very much so, that was very connected to this and very relevant to this in particular particular, the last 7 months, my Lord, the last 7 months, what a remarkable sign, what a remarkable insight, what a remarkable new beginning you are going to have. And you know why I say remarkable? Because it's to do with number 7, and it's all about the numerology, and it's all about your spirituality, and it's all about your connection, reconnection. Sometimes people in this life don't realize how important the spirituality is, how important the understanding is, how important this balance is when it comes to our general balance in life, because it just provides you, an insight, the power, the wisdom, to look at the situation from a completely different angle. And this is so much so to do with a strong connection with your spirit, with a strong connection with your spirituality. So therefore, this is pretty much so connected to your karma. So my beautiful Cancerinis, I'm absolutely delighted to say that there is a wonderful unfoldment going to happen connected to these 3 days on the 31st of May. The actual 31st of May, it's going to be the key day. The 31st of May, it's going to be the key date when you're going to take this new plan. But as I said, it's not brand new. It's just at this brand new stage, it's going to allow you to make a certain process much quicker. Symbolically, my Lord, we are connected to the actual little white bunny, little white rabbit. And what does that mean? Also that symbolically, little white bunny is something really cute, something really important, something really precious, something really adorable, but something really powerful in many different ways. But also little white bunny symbolically means a big jump, you see. So it's also to do with an absolutely remarkable shortcut. My gorgeous Cancerini, I hope you understand that this is where your power is going to become super enhanced when it comes to your own passion, because something is going to take place, something is going to unfold, and it's at the same time going to provide you with an absolutely remarkable shortcut. So the things that have been bothering you, the things that have been slowing you down, the things that have created like a problems in your life, my Lord, these 3 days are going to be remarkable, and these 3 days are only going to be the beginning of you entering the whole new dimension. But also just remember that any issues you have, you are going to surprise yourself the way they are going to kind of work out, the way they are going to unfold. And this is nothing unusual. It's all part of this power. It's all part of this energy that you're actually going through. So this is how you can do it. From the actual 19th towards the end of the May, it's remarkable time to start any type of process, to sign anything like important, to start anything that's important in your life that you were worrying about, and anything that takes slightly longer amount of time, or even things that you've put on hold. Now you just basically, this is going to be astrologically and energetically absolutely perfect time from the 19th until the end of the month, because it's going to be the time of unfoldment. But the sacred thing here is that the process is going to get much faster. The process is going to get much quicker. But also you are going to be challenged. Don't get me wrong, my Lord, you are going to be challenged in a way where things don't seem like, that great. Things don't seem that amazing. Things seems really slow. Things seems really bizarre. Well, in fact, the more things weird, the more you actually have a weird feeling about things around you, the more weird feelings you have about the day, about the energy, about the vibration. At the same time, you need to know, my gorgeous Cancerini, you turn this beautiful feeling upside down in your favor, because I tell you little secret, and little secret is that this is a sacred moment in time when it comes to you, my gorgeous Cancerini. So you can do this with the power of your mind, with your subconsciousness and consciousness at the same time. You just need to understand that if you feel weird, if you feel bizarre, you just turn this around to your favor, my gorgeous babies. What you do is like, you will know that this is where your power is, this is when your energy is, and this is how you will know that wherever you put your attention towards, you're going to do really, really great at the same time. So this is how you do it. So if you feel feel a little bit weird, strange and unusual, a day doesn't feel right, you feel a little bit darker or bizarre, you know, you just go for it. You will know that through this bizarreness, through this darkness, through this negative energy, you're also going to find out so much about yourself at the same time, because this is your little gift, you know, something that you have to kind of work towards, and most certainly a wonderful present, you know, that you're actually going to have at the end of the month, a wonderful unfoldment and a wonderful gift which is actually going to come out of it. It's very, very interesting indeed. These 3 days are going to bring you the new plan, my gorgeous Cancerini, but it's to do with your wish, and it's to do with the time that was on hold, or you had to put a certain time of hold because of the things maybe around that were happening around you that you couldn't do much about it. But most certainly beautiful, because the confidence is going to play an important role. You will do something, you will start a process which is just purely going to come out of your confidence moment, and it's going to surprise you. But this is nothing unusual, because your power is going to be very vibrant at around this time indeed, and that in itself is going to bring you a promise. Whether you realize this or not, this is going to bring you so much creativity, and this is nothing unusual, because it's all about your rebirth, it's all about your transformation, it's the vision that you are going to have at the same time. But most importantly, it's all about the wake up call, wake up call, wake up call, and wake up call. On another hand, this is to do with the actual, also like the process that you started in the past, or you wanted to start in the past, because it's to do with a certain attempt. So it's very important, for one, to understand that this is the process that you were thinking about in the past, or you started it in the past. Or for two, just remember, Cancerini, an attempt is important. An attempt is going to be very important when it comes to you. And around that attempt, I have to highlight the word confidence. Just remember. On another hand, you know, it's a bit more coming to it, my gorgeous Cancerinis, because it's all about the actual hope, faith, and inspiration, which is going to be followed by a bright prospect. And that bright prospect is also going to be pretty much so, it's going to have a connection with your childhood, or connection from the past, or from the time when you were happy. I'm not saying that you were not happy, but there is a specific time of your life in your past. It could be childhood, it could be much sooner than that, it could be much closer than that, but it all depends, because there is going to be an element of a really exciting and positive emotion that you are going to feel at around these 3 days when it comes to your childhood. And at the same time, something is going to happen, my gorgeous Cancerini. The thought is going to come into your head, and that in itself, it's not only going to provide you focus, but it's also going to enhance your radiance. And through this radiance, you're already going to start an invocation in your life, an important invocation that is also going to bring you a missing puzzle. Once this missing puzzle comes into your life, my gorgeous Cancerini, it means that you are going to mix the actual past and present, but also an insight from the past. It's going to bring you an important insight. Okay, it's very important to say this, and it's all about the actual optimism, all about the actual satisfaction, pleasure, and happiness. And what else is going to happen, my gorgeous Cancerinis? And this is nothing unusual. My Lord, these 3 days are like, oh my God, it is the basically visit from the spiritual, visit from the spirit. Okay, you are going to be visited by somebody from the spirit world, and this is a very important, this is very significant, and this is a very powerful moment in time, because at the same time something is going to be revealed to you, you know. And what is actually going to be revealed to you, it's all about the actual new start which is about to come, you know. And you're also very, very close to achieving something absolutely remarkable when it comes to your life and when it comes to your goal. And before that happens, you see, this is just going to be so strong, and this is going to be pretty much connected to the actual November 2020. November 2020, it's going to be remarkable when it comes to you. Please don't get me wrong, Cancerini, please. I'm not saying that you have to wait until November. No, baby, no. I'm just saying that this is spiritually going to be absolutely mind-blowing, vavumish moment in time when it comes to planting spiritual seeds around you. So there is something that you're going to start a certain process, but this is going to be so strong and so solid that you're not even gonna realize, my gorgeous Cancerini, okay? And then you're gonna create and make something so important and so special that not only for yourself and your security, you're gonna provide yourself with a really strong and solid time, but you're also going to be able to create something very special which will be going for a long time, okay? For the people, for you, people in your life, people around you, you know, the people who are closest to you are all going to find this quite beneficial indeed. So this is why my saying that you're going to be visited from somebody in the spirit world, and then you will know, the moment of illumination, the moment of realization. And when I said that you're going to be visited by somebody in the spirit world as well, this is a very complex thing to say, because it could happen like, you know, maybe something is going to move like a little flower, hello, you know, and then you know that someone is here, you know, or something is going to fall off the table. You will know that someone is here. Maybe you will see the little white feather, which is very often angels and the people from the spirit will contact us with a little white feather. It just appears somewhere. It appears in your wallet. It appears in your bag. You know, it appears like in the very strange places. You know, it doesn't have to be strange place, but it's a lot about the feeling that we have when we come across these signs, when we come across these omens. So this is really important. Or you could perhaps smell someone's tobacco. Maybe you will smell what someone used to cook a lot. You have someone who used to know. But however, you will be visited, and you will know that as soon as that happened, that you are very close to achieving something very special and very personal to you when it comes to your goal. And it's a lot to do with a new start. It's a lot to do with a new dimension, which is also at the same time going to be pretty much connected to you and to your freedom and to your happiness. The spirit that you are going to be visited by, this is your omen. You could also like be maybe like you come across a certain cat, and then there is a certain maybe spirit will take the shape of a cat. You know, it happens very often, you know. Or it's the spirit, the cat, like from the spirit world, comes around, you see it, you turn around, oh my god, where did the cat go? And maybe you can see the dog. Maybe the dog will do something strange, something unusual, then you turn around, the dog is not there anymore. Any animal for that matter. It could be like coyote, it could be wolf, you know, the bear, you know, wherever you live. It really depends, but most certainly, because the spirit can take any shape or form, really, to be quite honest. So it can happen to you in any way. If you're very much so connected to the animal, it could take a form of an animal. Or also it could be somebody who you know, or it could be somebody who you don't know. However, you know, it could be somebody who just a passing by spirit that feel a very strong connection, that it wants to provide you with a message. However, this will be very important for you, and most certainly it will be beneficial in many different ways, because you're gonna feel something very powerful, in particular because your balance in between spirituality and practicality is going to be very strong and powerful. So you are gonna be able to connect to so many different ways. Look at this. La 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 la, Cancerin, Cancerin. You see this gateway, my babies. Look, it boils down to one thing, my gorgeous Cancerin, is indeed the way out of the situation. Letter A is going to be very strong and very significant. When it comes to letter A, it means two things. Symbolically, letter A means the beginning of the whole new stage, the whole new era, which is very important, okay? The beginning, the first letter of an alphabet, so it symbolizes the beginning. On another hand, letter A means also in the person's name. In the person's name, this is going to be very significant as well at the same time. And look at this, it's about a gateway. It's about the way out of the situation that was bringing you down and that was taking lots of negativity out of you, that was making you feel negative, and that was bringing you lots of worries. So these 3 days, my babies, look, one of the most important things is that these 3 days are going to be connected to the gateway, to the way out of the situation that was taking lots of energy from you. Now it's going to be nice, because after the rain, my gorgeous Cancerini, most certainly the actual sunshine is going to come through. The heavier the rain, the most powerful sunshine is going to happen. And that in itself, my gorgeous Cancerini, is by the time we get to the 20th, it's actually all about the good news that you're going to have as well. It's about your advancement, expectation, you know, and it's most certainly about a certain idea. There is an important idea that you had and that you are going to be able to implement after this moment in time. So this is very important, you know, because of a few different things, because purely you are going to have a control over a situation over these 3 days. This is how I can beautifully summon it all up nicely, you know, that you are going to have a control over a situation situation of these 3 days is to do with your strength, is to do with your courage, is to do with the actual energy and determination, and that is going to bring you such a beautiful healing as well into your life at the same time. It's about the action, it's about the confidence and important accomplishment as well at the same time. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerini, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Cancerini, and it's for May 2020. So it's for you, my gorgeous Cancerini, and it's for May 2020. And I want to say that the actual number when it comes to you in numerology, it's number 9. Okay, you have got number 9, which means, oh my god, it's a nice surprise that you are going to have. Just remember about number 9. It's all about symbolical things, and it's all about activation, it's all about unfoldment, it's all about power, but it's also at the same time number 9. What is special about this number, Cancerini? Number 9, you turn it upside down, and then it's number 6. So there are 2 numbers in one. It's just upside down. So this is a wonderful sign, and it's a very important moment in time that you are going to have, because it's all about this conclusion. It's all about the problem, coming to an end. It's about the success, a material security, finding yourself on an advanced level. I really like it, but it's also at the same time about healing, and that in itself is going to bring you a victory, but also it's about a difficulty slowly coming to an end. This is like the key here. The difficulty is slowly coming to an end, and that difficulty is at the same time going to be all about the stability and about the fact that you're going to realize, oh, thank you, Lord. It's something to do with the wish, and it's something to do with the implementation, and it's also to do with the harmonious energy that is going to come through. I must not forget to say that this May, it's all about your own transformation. It's all about your own transformation, and it's about the tests that you are going to have. But it's also at the same time important to remember to swim against the currents. Sometimes in this life we have to swim against the currents. And this is what I say, if you feel tired, or if you feel low, or if you feel lonely, I'm not saying that you are going to, but I'm just picking on all these emotions that can actually affect us in so many different ways. So therefore we reflect on our life slightly differently. So the more difficult things are throughout this month, if you do feel like this, if you feel even confused, you just go for it and go for it and go for it. There is a more going to be waiting for you. So that's why I say that sometimes in this life it's absolutely super important to swim against the currents, and every single time you do this, an important illumination situation is going to be waiting for you. It's to do with the actual harmony, and it's to do with the new beginning at the same time. I'm really excited for you because, this May, by the end of May, something is going to take place, in particular when it comes to what you have been patient about. Your patient, my gorgeous your patience is actually going to pay off really beautifully. So this is very personal. This will be very personal to you, my gorgeous Cancerini. Your patience is going to start paying off, and I'm so happy for you, because it's all about the harmony, and it's all about a certain compatibility as well. And you will know that it's time for a little adjustment, but it's just going to be the right person, somebody who means to you so much. It's going to suggest something for you to you, and that is going to be the great confirmation as well at the same time. It's important to say, because also you're going to come across the problem before the end of May, and you will know, just remember not to rush into anything. Don't jump over anything, don't rush into anything. Just remember to look at the bigger picture, okay? Look at the bigger picture, and it's a lot to do with you. It's to do with you making an important decision not that long ago. You just basically went for it, and and now you're going to have your proof here. Your hard work is about to pay off. So this is what the looking at the bigger picture is going to be outcome. This is what it means, you know. Your hard work is paying off, and it's to do with you being very powerful and very mature individual, but mature when it comes to making decisions, mature when it comes to your way of thinking, mature when it comes to your way of acting, mature when it comes to your responsibilities. You know, all these beautiful things are going to come into one bubble, and it's just going to come back now with a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time, which is going at the same time going to become an important when it comes to your own development, you know, promotion, the outcome of the actual past efforts, which is most certainly going to lead towards your own rebirth. Something else is going to take place, you know, you making a little change, little difference in your life, which is going to also help you to realize what exactly you need to do, what exactly you need to change, what exactly you need to kind of go over in order to kind of think about your own quality of life, in particular when it comes to those things that maybe don't pay off as much as you would want to, and they just take so much energy out of you, like things that are frequently keeping you too restrained. You know, you need to pay attention to what this is and how to get rid of them and how to go on the next stage of your spiritual journey. This is all going to be absolutely super important, my gorgeous Cancerini. On another hand, when it comes to your health, you see, I really do see again like a very sensitive bones. My gorgeous Cancerinis, I see very sensitive bones indeed. So what is going to be quite important. I know I've seen this before, but I have to say it again. It's the calcium, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. Calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and vitamin D are going to be super beneficial for your bones, because I can see sensitive bones, but I can also see the sensitive lower back, sensitive hips, and sensitive maybe joints. You see, like the whole picture quite sensitive. So this is something that I would highly recommend you to actually get, you see, because, and also organic flaxseed oil, it's absolutely superb to get, because organic flaxseed oil, it's like very similar to the actual fish oil, or very similar to the cod liver oil. The difference is that the fish oil, you know, they get the oil from the fish. I know it sounds horrible, but then the flaxseed, then the cod liver oil, they take it from the cod liver, but then it contains natural vitamins A and D, which fish oil doesn't. So, but when it comes to the actual organic flaxseed oil, it's the plant version of the actual fish oil and the cod liver oil. So this is something that I would highly recommend you to get, organic flaxseed oil, and this is going to help you to boost your immune system, but it's also going to help you with your bones, with your skin, hair, and nails, and to keep your joints moist as well, which is what I think that is going to be quite significant, alongside vitamin D, superb. On another hand, organic acerola cherry powder, I said it millions of times. I know I'm going to have to say it again. Organic acerola cherry powder is super important when it comes to boosting your immune system, because you're going to have like a little bit of like a cold and flu symptoms. So that's why boosting your immune system with vitamin C, organic acerola cherry powder would be absolutely superb. You take 1 little glass of water, 1 teaspoon, mix it up and drink it in the morning and in the evening. Just 1 little teaspoon of organic acerola cherry powder is going to provide you with a whopping amount of vitamin C, which is absolutely wonderful, and it's natural. On another hand, that alongside vitamin D that I recommended and zinc, this is going to be fantastic and wonderful to boost your immune system. On another hand, it's the actual digestion. It's going to be just a little bit sensitive. So for your digestion, I would absolutely would like to recommend natural B vitamins, or eat food which is rich in natural B vitamins. That is going to help you with your digestive system, but also at the same time try to get like organic dandelion tea. It's absolutely brilliant. It's going to help you to flush out the toxins out of the system, and it's absolutely wonderful when it comes to digestion, stomach lining, and things like that. Organic dandelion is so powerful, and sometimes people don't even understand. It's amazing. And also, I know it's a lot, try to avoid fluoride mouthwash and the fluoride toothpaste. Try to get a toothpaste without fluoride and the mouthwash without fluoride, because inside your gums it's going to be sensitive. And just try to get something like a toothpaste without fluoride and mouthwash without fluoride, and the zinc and organic vitamin C that I've already recommended are going to help you with the gum healing at the same time. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, that you just need to check with your doctor or you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous Cancerini, I'm going to pay attention to the actual very first day. But before I do this, I highly recommend you to get like a Moldavite. I know I've recommended this before. Moldavite is a very powerful crystal, very, very unique in many different ways, and sometimes it's very difficult to get hold of them. The actual Moldavite is very important because it's going to help you to protect yourself against negative energy. It's going to help you at the moment in time, you know, when you're going through your own spiritual growth. So when you come across few times, you know, you're going to come across like the situation that is going to make you a little bit uncertain, like in particular when it comes to your own response, and in particular when it comes to like communication to other people, with the other people, when we don't know what to say or we are a little bit nervous, so it depends what's going on around us. Moldavite, it's absolutely brilliant to stay on top of things, you know, because it helps you to connect from so many different angles, because it helps you with your own spiritual growth. Your spiritual growth will be very important throughout May and June. This Moldavite comes with a sterling silver wire and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Cancerinis, you're also supporting my channel as well. The 10th of May, it's an amazing moment in time for you, actually, the 10th and the 11th of May, but in particular it's going to start on the 10th of May, you know, because your own experience is going to help you to get out of the certain situation. Your own success, you know, your own experience is going to make you successful. It's going to help you to make a successful decision, but it's also at the same time going to help you to move on from the certain stage, because you will be able to actually you will be able to have a power, this psychic moment where you're going to be able to symbolize, you're going to be able to perceive the actual unknown little hidden danger, and that is going to be brilliant because you are going to protect yourself at the same time. That in itself is going to make you realize that you're going to need to start making changes, little changes when it comes to your life in order to get where you want to get. So the certain abandonment is most certainly going to be very much so important here. And as soon as you make and start certain abandonment, you know, certain adjustment, readjustment, you're going to need to cut something out of your life. But you don't need to do that straight away. It's all about your thought process. It's all about the power of your mind. Throughout May, your manifestation will be very strong. So it's so significant and super important just to remember to stay optimistic as much as you can, because you will be surprised how much you are actually going to manifest and how many processes you're actually going to start with the power of your thinking, with the power of your mind, which is what we do always. But sometimes, you know, as I've said before, little white bunny, symbolically what you have here means that there are going to be few quick jumps that are actually going to happen, but they're going to be very positive and optimistic, and most certainly even those times when it's unknown outcome, you will just go for it because your psychic feeling is going to be guiding you through, because of your third psychic eye is going to be like wide open at the same time. Indeed, I'm saying this because pretty much so, you know, you will know what is the time to abandon, because it's to do with the time of your life in the 2 months in particular, what was bringing you difficulties in launching new projects, what was bringing you difficult situation, and what was bringing you troubles as well, and the certain concern, and when you realize the change, you know, the change needs to be made. That in itself is so important, because most certainly by the time we get to the 11th of May, it's all about the beginning of an important adventure. You have to believe me, and you have to stay optimistic, my gorgeous Cancerinis, indeed, because it's about the enthusiasm, initiative, which is connected to unlimited possibilities, and it's going to be like, oh, thank God, you know, it's all about a strong and very powerful vision that you are going to have at the same time. Important. Okay, so now the second important date or that's the next important date, it's going to be what I said before. It's the actual 31st of May. 31st of May is just about your own well-being, and it's time to like kind of, oh, thank God, a little bit of relaxation through your own realization when it comes to your own security and reaching a very important stage. This in itself, it's also going to make you feel very creative, but at the same time, you know, it is just basically about a little conflicting influence with someone. Someone is going to kind of be part of your energy here, and it's also going to kind of challenge you a little bit and have a little bit of a conflicting influence. And the only thing that I want to say to you, if you are having a conflicting influence with somebody and that person is trying to rush you into something, no, baby, no. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Do not rush into anything, in particular when it's if someone is trying to like to do this to you by having a conflicting influence with you, but it's to do with rushing into something. So I just want to say to you, no, baby, no. What you need to do is just go home, sleep one night, think about it. You don't even have to think about it, but while we are sleeping, we are going through all sorts of dimensions and directions. We get all sorts of answers without even realizing. Just one night to go sleep, you know, and then you just kind of respond to it, and then it's just going to be completely different world, completely different energy, completely different power, which is going to come through a whole new focus. On another hand, why else is the 31st of May quite important? Because it's just like to do with an important news, you know. It's to do with somebody who's like having a very important, very good intentions around you, somebody who's very consistent person in your life, and it's also going to be connected to some kind of news. That news that you are going to have, it's going to be very important when it comes to the certain investment, okay? It's going to be a significant confirmation that you're going to have, very personal, but most certainly is to do with the actual important investment. What else is the 31st? Why else is the 31st going to be important, my gorgeous Cancerini? It's because this day, not only the 31st, but the 30th and the 31st of May are both going to be super powerful when it comes to you like manifesting or trying to manifest or trying to bring this manifestation a little bit closer, a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner. So you take like a little candle, not as huge as this, because this would like go on for like years, you know, well, not years, but for a long time. So you take a little candle and you stick to two things in particular, you know. You take a little candle and the power of manifestation will be very strong. So if you want to manifest and start things, just go for it, my gorgeous Cancerini. Write two things on the candle. Try to make sure that you remember that you kind of relax and you just kind of focus on what you want to manifest. You put two things on, like let's say love and prosperity or something like that. And then as you're writing this with a pen, you know, on each side of the candle, you know, at the same time, you just feel it, you know, connect to it, you know, make it a part of it. At the same time, when you light this little candle, you're lighting the flame within you, inside you. You're connecting to it by creating this passion and making it go away. By the time the candle finish burning until the end, and this message is sent to the universe, and it's just going to happen wonderfully, really quickly, and it's going to happen much sooner, and it's also going to provide you with an unfoldment, positive unfoldment, and quite beneficial situation that you wouldn't normally have. So there you go. This is something that you can do, and you're going to find this quite incredible in quite many different ways indeed. Okay, so now my gorgeous Cancerinis, I'm going to see what is going to happen in the very first part of May. Because the night belongs to lovers, because the night belongs to us, because the night belongs to lovers, because the night, because the night, because the night. Ba-dum-bum, ba-bum. I love it, my gorgeous Cancerini. It will be the return of something very special this month, you know, the return of a very positive energy, and I like it. And this is just the vibration that I'm feeling. It's a positive vibration. It's going to help you to understand so much around you. It's going to open your eyes, but most importantly, it's going to be so beneficial when it comes to your optimistic life, and everything is going to start making sense, and that is going to help you to just get on with your life, my gorgeous Cancerini, indeed. Because the first part of May, it's going to bring you the moment, like the first week, like, you know, you're just gonna feel like it's still a little bit strange and unusual, not a little bit sad, but quite negative, you know. You will be able to feel this energy prior to the 10th of May, but in particular the first week of May, it's going to be a little bit unusual, a little bit slow, you know, and this is still going to be connected to the maybe gray areas of your life. It's going to be quite, they're going to be quite highlighted still, which is nothing unusual. Just remember, the heavier the rain, the more brighter the sun is going to be, and this is going to happen to you, my gorgeous Cancerini. So it's just this bit, it's like a little bit sad feeling, a little bit gray feeling, not depressed, not a little bit sad, just a little bit low, you know. But then again, that in itself, it's also going to start a process, an important process at the same time, and is going to, you see, it's going to start a process, voyage, you see, this trip, journey, you see, an important moment is going to happen here without you even realizing, because you're going to start redirecting yourself through this energy. Believe me or not, you are going to have an important vision, and that vision that you are going to have, you know, is just going to be so much so connected to the moment of time when you had like a little bit of a limited success. So now there's going to be the vision that you are going to have, which is going to reflect on the actual limited success to become unlimited, you see. And it's so much so to do with the delays and lack of motivation, which are now going to become the actual inspirational and potential for you. Inspiration and potential. It's all about casting out the restriction through some kind of a leader, or through some kind of person who is like who represent like an honor in your life. At the same time, you know, this organization, it's about to bring you the balance as well. Where you felt disorganized and uncertain, this is going to have a balance, and it's a lot to do with the powerless situation that was highlighted in your life in the last 3 months, and that was actually now going to turn around by the time we get to the mid part of May, and it's going to become very much so about a certain liberation. On another hand, that liberation, it's also going to bring a certain obstacle, you know, when it comes to making an important decision, but that in itself, it's going to also become the turning point at the same time, and it's going to highlight for you the part of your life that you need to move on from, and maybe start changing your way of thinking when it comes to this part of your life, moving away from it in a way of like when you start like thinking about it in a different way. And it's all about you thinking positive, thinking optimistic, and you've got more resources than you possibly need to move on. Just remember that you've got everything you need. You're powerful, you're amazing, you're very, very special in many different ways. I'm saying this because you're going to be doubting about something, but before that, you're going to be doubting about something, and that it's not going to stop you or block you or prevent you to move on, but it's also at the same time going to be an important moment in time when it comes to some kind of luxury culmination and a very, very significant stage of your life, which is going to be highly illuminated here. The last part of May, it's bringing you an important recognition, you know. On one hand, you are going to be recognized, but on another hand, you are going to recognize something else yourself. It's so important because it's to do with the actual honor, it's to do with the success, it's to do with an accomplishment, it's to do with the progress, it's to do with motivation, but at the same time, little door are going to be closed and locked, and it's going to be like a burden written all over it. But then again, that burden is exactly what you need to pay attention to, because that burden is coming from some kind of missed opportunity. Some kind of missed opportunity, maybe that you are blaming yourself for it, and you must not, because it's not going to be that long until the actual the situation changes, and it brings you a moment which is not only going to surprise you, but it's going to provide you with the two different things. A bit of a dilemma at the end of May, but most certainly it's good. It's going to make you more assertive. Just remember, more assertive, which on another hand, you need to remember to stay committed to the task at hand. Very, very, very important indeed, because there are going to be a couple of distractions that you are going to have, in particular when it comes to your personal life. It's not going to be nothing negative or bad, but it's just going to kind of take your attention for a little while. But just remember to stay on top of the things at the same time. It's to do with a wish, you know, a big wish. You see, the last part of May, it's so much so to do with a big wish, my gorgeous Cancerini. Something really important, something very personal, something that was affecting you, something that was having a certain reflection on you, something that maybe prevented you from a future planning and things like that. However, the big wish is going to come through some kind of authority at the end of May. You're gonna hear something, you're gonna be aware of something, and that is just going to help you out to make a decision. But also when it comes to your future planning and when it comes to understanding of the whole situation, you know, this is going to help you quite a lot, because most certainly, look at this voyage again, the second stage of your journey. Look, the oracle card is the same one, came absolutely remarkable. And look at this. Because the night belongs to lovers, because the night belongs to us, because the night belongs to lovers, because the night, because the night, because the night, na 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 na. You see this freedom, my gorgeous Cancerini. It's all about freedom, freedom, freedom. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-bam. It's all about freedom, my gorgeous Cancerini. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, it's an important news that you are going to hear, and that news, it's all going to be about the freedom and the new stage and the new option. You know, you were indecisive. This is going to bring you a slightly indecisive situation, but most certainly, as soon as you make an important decision at the end of May, as soon as you make an important decision at the end of May, my gorgeous Cancerini, you will know at the same time that this is the time when adventure is at the same time going to start. You just have to believe in yourself, you just have to trust yourself, and you just have to feel adventurous, my lord. And this is exactly what is going to happen. Something really significant is going to take place, and especially when it comes to your own passion and the whole new opportunity. Okay, so now I'm going to shuffle this card, my gorgeous Cancerinis, and I'm going to see what... See, this is like 5 decks just fell on the floor. This is what I'm going to do now, my gorgeous Cancerini. I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to see what is going to happen with those of you that are in relationship. You know, this is an important month, of course. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is an important month indeed, my gorgeous Cancerinis, because it's just about the actual important judgment. You're both as a couple going to make an important judgment, and that judgment is also going to be so significant when it comes to your own improvement, development, and also is the outcome of the past effort, including like a really beautiful moment of rebirth that you're going to have. So basically, this is an important moment in time when it comes to the outcome of the past effort. Perhaps certain things were on hold, maybe certain things didn't unfold and develop as quick as you wanted, but most certainly this month it's good for the couples, because it's going to bring you an outcome from the past effort, which is going to be directly responsible for you making a quite significant decision by the end of the month as a couple. But this is going to be good, very, very good indeed. So now I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to connect to those of you that are in relationship. Those of you that are single. Because the night belongs to lovers, because the night belongs to us, because the night belongs to lovers, because the night, because the night, because the night. Sorry, Cancerini. Okay, so this is for those of you that are single and ready to mingy. Oh God, Two of Swords you have here. So it's important to have a return of balance. Oh my Lord, you're also having a karmic little test. Karmic little test this month is for you, my gorgeous Cancerini. It is not going to be that long until someone very special walks into your life, like a new lover and things like that. But before that happens, you are going to need to give a little bit of room to your spirit to grow, which means that karmically you're still being tested a little bit, and your test when it comes to your emotions is to realize that you need to let someone go first. Whether this is some kind of previous lover that you're still like kind of having in your mind but it shouldn't be there anymore, whether it's somebody who you fancied from before but you shouldn't really fancy them because it's not the right person. I mean, you can fancy whoever you want but it's not the right person for you, or whether it's just somebody who it was like a one night standy one in 90 standy. Okay, it could have been somebody who you had like a little bit of like one night stand, you know, or maybe it's just somebody who you never had any contact with whatsoever. However, it is just important for you to remember to let that person go. So this is going to be karmically important. It's like your little gift, you know, at the same time. Before, as soon as you do this, you are going to release yourself, because there is this a little bit of energy of an anger that is connected to that person. So maybe something happened that shouldn't have. Maybe you felt a little bit of negativity around that person. Maybe that person was not really nice to you, but it's gonna come, that person is gonna come into your mind, you know, throughout May or at some point in May. Or it could be somebody for the first time that you meet, you know, and you just need to go karmically over that situation when you realize that something is making you angry about this person, something is making you negative about this person, something is bringing you down, and something is draining your energy around that person. These are all signs that you should move on from it. So it's very important. I know it sounds very complex, but it's very important to see who is part of your mind this month, my gorgeous Cancerini, for those of you that are single, and you can just let them go. Let them go with the wind. Let them go, let them go, let them go. It's important to let them go, because at the same time, you know, you're going to release yourself. So as soon as you do this, it's not going to be that long until you just unlock all the door around you, all the love romantic door, and then that very special person can come through. But first of all, there is some kind of karmic lesson that you're going to learn through this situation when you let someone go, so you automatically let somebody quite wonderful to come in. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I know you had to wait a little bit longer for this video. I did not forget about my gorgeous Cancerinis. Trust me, I could not possibly forget about you, but something happened, something took place, and I could not record this video. So I'm really sorry because you had to wait a little bit extra, but I'm just sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing and light. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerinis, sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.